Hi, I'm Peter from Peerless Consulting Group. I'm working with Slattery Moving Storage, and we're here to discuss about telecommunication systems.
We've had kind of a huge project recently on our hands dealing with switching over the phone systems and not just changing phone companies. We ended up changing, the type of system that we're using. So, and we ran into, I guess, a couple of roadblocks, and I'd like to save everyone the time. And we have Peter here, who's very knowledgeable about these kinds of systems, and I'd like to ask him a few questions. So the first question I want to ask is, what's the main difficulty that you find when companies are switching from one phone company to another?
The main problem that we find is orchestrating the entire process. If you fail to have everything in place during the cutover, you'll find yourself not having any phone lines or any phone service when you need them during operating hours.
Now this is specific to switching systems too. Like if you're doing VoIP to landline or landline to VoIP, those kinds of things.
That is correct. What you need to do is basically have a project manager or project leader that is familiar with both companies first and foremost. So they need to know the people to contact to make sure that everything is in place, everything is configured. They need to make sure that the equipment is in and is functioning and working. And then the last thing too is to make sure that they schedule a date correctly and know exactly when the cutoff time from the old company and the spin-up time of the new company is going to take place.
And I think it's a good idea to double check and triple check those kinds of dates because there have been times in the past where, I'm sure you've known or I've known or the company has known or other companies have had dates set and it doesn't happen on that date for some sort of reason. So, and it's a huge problem, right?
That is correct. Some of the companies try to be a little bit ahead of the curve by giving notifications the day of, either through text messages or a phone call. But the best bet is to either call the day before or in the morning of and just confirm that the appointment is going to take place when they said. We had an example where one of the clients, the representative from the company, said that they were going to take place on a Thursday, for example, and really the date in their computer system was set for Friday.
Right, and that's a major issue because, that's no phone service from X day to X day.
That's correct. It's not only no phone system, but all the people that are involved, such as the phone equipment people, the other staff that are standing by, such as your IT support staff, they're coming in thinking that today's the day that they're going to be switching over and it needs to be rescheduled.
All right, so this is like basically the most, I wouldn't say not the most difficult, but a very common problem, you said, with these kinds of switches.
Yes, exactly. These are just some of the things that we point out to the client whenever we are brought in on the project. The first thing that we do is basically set the goal. Then what we do is we start to break down the project, which is what all clients should do in terms of saying, okay, I need to switch here, I need to get this, and then put it all together in a project format so they know each milestone that they need, when to come out and pre-prep the site, when to install the phones and the wiring, when to complete the configuration, and lastly when to switch over and test the phone systems.
So correct me if I'm wrong, there needs to be kind of a team assembled to take care of this. So like you're saying, you suggest having a project manager from the company take care of coordinating both the moving from company and moving to company as far as the phone systems are concerned. And then you have to make sure that you're keeping in contact with the hardware piece too, the guy that's taking care of the phone installation. So that's basically 4 parties that need to be communicating all the time.
Roughly, and they definitely need to be communicating all the time. And I know some companies do not have a strong project manager in place or somebody that's unfamiliar with this project. That's why the best bet is really to call in an IT or a phone system consultant. First, they can usually facilitate all the transfers and cutovers, such as lining up, okay, we need wire runs, how many phones do we need, how many extensions, getting all the fine-tune the specifics, and then actually orchestrate it for the company and basically guide them through the process.
So you're basically saying that the project manager shouldn't be reinventing the wheel.
That is correct.
Okay. That's great advice. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.